to wrap up today. We are joined by head coach Seb Hines. Seb, 3-1 win here in Utah. Just give us your initial thoughts after the match.
Priority was to come away with 3 points before we go into the international break. I think in recent games we played well, but we haven't really got the result. So we wanted to make sure that we performed well and got the result. It's great to come away from this game with 3 points and a nice 3-1 victory.
We're going to talk about 3 points, also 3 goals from Barbara Banda, the first hat trick in Pride history. Can you just talk about her performance tonight and what she showed in that first half specifically?
Yeah, I mean, she's a constant threat. It was 3 different types of goals, which is pleasing to see. She's been waiting patiently. She's been getting half chances, but no real clear-cut opportunities. And so I was really pleased for her. Obviously, it's the first hat trick in Pride history, and that's been a long wait for that opportunity, but she took it really well. And credit to her being patient and scoring the goals that we needed.
We'll go ahead and go to Zoom. Awesome. Go ahead.
Seb, you just kind of mentioned it. I mean, you've been here for, basically you've been around the team since the inception of the team. For it to be Barbara to get the first hat trick, just how special is that? And just how fitting is it for her to be the one?
Yeah, I mean, we've had some really good quality forwards. I shouldn't just say forwards because anyone can score a hat trick whilst they're on the field. So, for her to do it in her first half as well is pretty impressive. She's constantly adding to her game. Like I said, there was 3 different types of goals, which was pleasing to see. So, hopefully that will continue and keep that momentum for her for the rest of the season.
You kind of mentioned it in your first answer, just getting on the board first in the first 6 minutes of the game. How important was that, considering the last couple of matches you've had to kind of scrap for goals and have late equalizers or whatnot? Just being able to set the tone like that, how important was it?
Yeah, it was a quality goal. A breakaway with Valley, and she does a really good job of finding Barbara, and it was a quality finish from Barbara. And so to get that first goal, I said that getting the 3 points priority. Just underneath that was getting the first goal, and it's always difficult. It's always a mountain to climb. We don't want to make it harder for ourselves that it becomes a bigger task for us. So I'm really happy and really impressed with the team to come out the gate really quickly and get that first goal. The disappointment is that we conceded so quickly after scoring the first goal. Again, we'll review that. But we didn't just settle for that. We were very relentless in the moment, so we wanted to get more goals, and we did do that. We capitalised on some really good moments. So overall pleased with the performance, but mostly the result.
Just having you kind of going to that goal, obviously a disappointment of conceding, but then having that second half where you maintain that level, you keep the second half clean sheet. Just how important was that, just for the confidence for the defensive side of things, to have that second half that you did away from home?
Yeah, no, it's important. I think sometimes it can be a game of 2 halves, and so going into the second half with a 3-1 victory, you're expecting Utah to put more pressure on, play a little bit higher. I still think we created some really good opportunities. It was a different look as the game went on. Trying to cause Utah some problems, but I was pleased that we got good numbers behind the ball, tried to stop them from getting any real clear-cut opportunities. And we need to take that confidence going into these last 3 games before the summer break. Obviously, we're going into international breaks, so players are representing their countries. But when they come back, we need to carry on that momentum into the last 3 games and go into the summer break.
Just kind of going off of that, with the players getting called up into the national teams and whatnot, just being able to rotate some of the players out, obviously getting Carrie and Marta some rest, getting Corey some minutes, being able to have these players step in and continue that momentum of the other players that came off the bench. Just how important is it to get them some much needed minutes in these runs of games?
Listen, between the Seattle game to this game today in Utah, we've travelled a considerable amount of distance, and so making sure that players feel refreshed when they step onto the field. Every game that we play is ultimately a final for teams, and so it's important that we're using our full roster, making sure that we're strategic with the starting lineup, but also substitutions as well. And so, yeah, this league is unforgiving. With the amount of travel you do, the competitiveness of the league, and yeah, it's always difficult. But the players are stepping up. We've had a tough run of form recently, but again, pleased that we were able to finish this part of the season with 3 points, and again, going into the international break, we can keep that momentum going into our home game against Houston, which will be really important to put a performance in front of our own fans.